Hey everyone, welcome back to the Soundbite. My name is Andrew, and today we're going to be jumping back into some Lovebites, but another drum cam from the Little Big Engine, Haruna. Fantastic drummer. I did one drum cam video before where she was in the studio and doing a lot of like really cool stuff and showing her basically her talent and the skill like on the drums, like absolutely amazing drummer. Really one of the highlights of the band, and one of the things that's kind of kept me coming back to the band, but also sort of it kept me interested to see, what else, Lovebites can offer. Obviously all of the musicians in that band are fantastic, but Haruna has always been the one that stood out to me. Granted, I am a bit of a drum nut. As some of you have probably noticed, I love drummers. It's so one of the things that I really do sort of notice in a lot of music, especially in metal, because the drummers are just one of those things where not only do I think sometimes they're underrated to some degree, but I do think that like that instrument is really like one of the keys to making music really well and really good, and really interesting as well. Like you can do so much with the drums that can kind of really make or break a song, So, and also the drum sounds really important, I feel, There's so many albums out there that I've heard over the years where the drum sounds kind of a bit lackluster and it's kind of affected the rest of the, at least the listening experience anyway. I guess the music is still there, but like the drums really is it's one of the main things that I feel is a key ingredient in a good metal song. Anyway, the little big engine, was it the little big engine? Yeah, Haruna. This was suggested by a few people. This one was from Bernard Bulwer and Gordon Knott's Finest. So thank you to that for suggesting this one, which is a bit of a montage of Haruna across Europe and the UK in 2024. So we're going to check this one out for the first time and see what else is there. Hopefully I'll recognize a couple of the songs because I have listened to quite a fair bit of Lovebites tracks, at least here on the channel anyway. So hopefully I'll be able to pick up some of the stuff that I've heard in the past, and but I'm sure there'll be some new stuff which I haven't gotten to yet. I do want to listen to some albums from them at some point, so maybe I'll get into that a little bit later. But at the moment, I'm kind of just been enjoying Lovebites, one bite at a time. So it's been fantastic. Let's get into it anyway. Lovebites, Haruna, drum cams from the Europe and the UK tour. Destiny's Alliance. I think I've done that one. It's really like her drum kicks, like those kick drums that she's doing is really one of the key things that she does so well. Like everything she does really well, but like the kick drums that like it's not just standard like double kicks. She's doing a lot of like triplets, whatever you call it. I don't know what the name is, but yeah, that's amazing. Those little The thing about that is those cymbal hits and stuff. It's so subtle that a lot of people in the crowd just probably wouldn't even notice it because they're too busy, just watching the show in general and kind of enjoying the performance. But it's one of the things that I do notice. Like sometimes I'm focusing on the drummer and seeing what he or she is doing, and you see those little sort of like cymbal hits, and it's like those are cool little like moments that I really like, and also on album recordings as well. And I love that she does that because, like, at the very least, she's getting something out of that. She's enjoying it as part of the fun of like that rhythm section that she's doing. So, um, I mentioned before in the last drum cam video that I did with Haruna that her posture is really good as well. And I'm not one to sort of like, talk about posture because my posture is terrible. But as far as drummers is concerned, I know that's a very important thing because especially if you're going to be in for the long haul, for your career, it's really important to kind of get your posture right. And she's definitely got that. And her sort of way where the drums are really close to her and stuff, so she's not having to like stretch out too much. So it's little subtle things like that that kind of make her a great drummer. I think there were some comments from people regarding her history and her thing about like getting into drums and stuff. Some of it's sort of lost on me now at the moment, but I remember there was people saying that she had gone through some training and stuff as well, and she'd been playing since she was like 12 or something like that, I think. So, just for yeah, follow through in the comments if you can just sort of let me know again just what else she was doing in regards to like getting into drumming. But there's definitely a professional sort of like aspect to it as far as like her training. Like it feels like she's been trained by like, a professional drummer or something like that. So because those kind of things you don't necessarily would learn on your own. Like most people wouldn't know much about like posture and stuff. So that's why I kind of feel like she's had some like professional training. And also those kick drums, like I mentioned, like that's amazing what she's doing there. Like it's not just like like standard like kick drums. It's not just because it's fast. It's just that little sort of like whatever I think they're called triplets or something. I think, but like you know what I mean? It's just that's not easy to do. That's just and the fact that she does it for so like extended periods of time, like the stamina that it takes to do that, and the consistency of it as well. It's fantastic. Don't bite the dust. It's interesting how her setup's not that big either. Considering all the things she's doing, it's a real basic sort of setup. Only a couple of toms, snare, and then, a bunch of cymbals around it. Granted, there's quite a few cymbals there, like a lot of small ones and stuff, but the tom setup is really, really simple. Again, that sort of like triplet sort of like kick drum system. Slowly stand solitary. I think I've done that one. Um, Yeah, just the her technique again, like sort of that's more of a sort of casual sort of like drum performance right there, nothing too tricky or anything like that. But like it's her casualness of it, like she doesn't have to bang it too hard, and obviously they've set it up, with the mics and stuff where it doesn't have to be, belted. But there are drummers out there, obviously, who absolutely beat the shit out of the drums. Lars back in the day used to do that. I know Eloy Casangrande absolutely belts the stuff out of the drums. But she does it the opposite. She's kind of like, again, that sort of like the technique of like the physical aspect of it. You know, you don't want to be wearing and tearing yourself out too much. You know, especially if you're going to be linked for the long haul. So she's doing it the right way, I guess. You know, because she doesn't need to bang the crap out of the drums because it just doesn't need to be done. So she's able to do all that kind of really cool stuff with like like I said, the toms being like this sort of simple setup, and yet she does so much with it, you know, which is all really, really cool to do that. I have heard that drummers have said that the simple setup actually, especially if you're used to a big setup, the simple setup, if you scale it down, actually is more difficult because you've got less to sort of like play around with, you know, less options, and so you have to sort of really figure out how to kind of do a lot of the same things that you would do on a bigger kit. So there is something to be said about a smaller kit being kind of really, really cool to actually do, and it sort of tests the drummer really the ability to kind of really do the things that you want to do, you know. So and I guess, you know, the drummers always kind of like progress, you know, with the kits, you know, start from a small setup and then sort of, you know, get bigger and bigger and stuff. Mike Point and I have been a perfect example of a kit that's just absolutely massive, you know, or even Mike Mangini, he was his replacement in Dream Theater for a period of time. Those, I mean, that's obviously like the kind of stuff that Neil Peart would do, you know, those massive, huge, bloody kits that these drummers would do, like in progressive metal. Um, and then you have this where it's like it's just as effective, just as fun, just as like you know, as tight as a performance can be, you know. So different sort of styles of drumming though. Yeah, fantastic as always. This is a song that I believe I've checked out before, Soldier Stand Solitary. Real fast one. It looks like it's from the same show, so that kick drum work. It's amazing. Because what it is, it's not just the longevity, the sustainability of it all. It's the fact that she's doing it at such a speed as well. Holy War. I think I've done this one as well. Need those bottles of water. Drummers definitely need them. Sorry for the view of the video as well. There's not much I can do about that. It's more sort of like portraits, so that's why the video today looks a little different. It was the only way I could sort of make it work. I tell people all the time, like when you're filming videos, it should be always landscape. This size is good for like, you know, your social media kind of stuff, you know, but which is maybe what the point of it was, I suppose. But I'm not a big fan of that portrait thing. It just doesn't look good. For the end of the song there. Doing all the little tours right in the middle of doing that? That's crazy. There you go. There's Haruna, little big engine from Lovebites, fantastic drummer. Slowly becoming one of my favorite drummers, and I have some some really big favorite sort of drummers out there like Mike Portnoy and Vinnie Paul and Eloy Casagrande was a guy who obviously is known for his work with Sepultura and now currently with Slipknot. But those drummers have like this unique style and kind of like a lot of flair and stuff, you know, especially Portnoy, who has a lot of fun with like these drums and stuff. It's just an absolute joy to watch someone like that. And I feel a lot of that with Haruna here. Like it's fun to watch her play because obviously she's enjoying it, but it's like it's just that she's so good at what she's doing that she can actually have some fun with it, you know. Because there are some drummers who are very mechanical and for whatever reason, maybe it's because of the intricate playing or whatever they're doing, they have to focus so much on the thing that they kind of forget about like the sort of human element of that, you know. So which I mean, they're great drummers, but like sometimes the human element is kind of why you watch these drummers because there's something really fun to sort of like just watch them basically just showcase a talent that not everyone can do. You know, it takes a certain amount of skill level to do these kind of instruments. Obviously, with guitarists and singers and all that kind of stuff, is that's a different sort of talent. But I always feel like the drums is like it's you're doing multiple things with different limbs and stuff. You know, there's a lot of different things going on at the same time, and they're multitasking and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, so Harun has become one of my favorite drummers now, and absolutely fantastic, and definitely one of the, I feel, one of the key ingredients behind Lovebites and why I've become a fan of them. So, anyway, thank you to everyone who has made a suggestion for me to check out more of Haruna's drum cam stuff. I'm definitely going to be doing more, so let me know in the comments what else to check out, and I will definitely do it. Yeah, anyway, thank you for tuning in as always. Please subscribe if you haven't, and thank you to everyone out there who has subscribed and turning me onto this band like Love Bites here on this channel. So it's been fantastic. Anyway, I will see you in the next video.